As we can see, Sarah Cheesecake Moras from Kelowna, British Columbia. I know Sarah trains with David Lee in the great camp in Toshido in Kelowna. She just fought in Jigta a couple months ago. And you know, you talked about earlier how tough it is for fighters from Winnipeg in general to find fights because there's not a lot of action out here. I know how tough it is for females to find fights anywhere in the MMA business in
Females
Canada.
in general have a hard time finding fights. Hard time finding a good weight to fight at for them. A lot of girls are not fighting way above what they should be, or they can't get a fight, you know. But you're starting to see now a lot more women MMA fights, a lot more, you know, WMMA happening these days.
Absolutely, and you know, the female mixed martial arts game has got a huge attention because of, you know, we all know what's happened with the armbar specialist herself, and you know, the win over Canada's best, Sarah Kaufman.
And a quick win at that.
Very quick, you know, and surprising. But you know what? It's done great things for female MMA.
Yeah, all press is good press, and they've been getting a lot of press lately, and that's a good thing.
And speaking of press, Sarah Moras has got a lot of press over the last year. I know I've been trying to find fights for people, but the problem is if your opponent gets hurt and when you have a fight lined up for female MMA, it's very tough to find a late replacement. And you'll see a lot of people, you know, you might look at the record. Sarah Moras is a perfect example. She's only 2-1, but her experience goes way beyond that of a fighter that you would see maybe from a place like Calgary or Vancouver that's only had 3 pro fights. When it comes to the ladies, you know, before they get in the cage to begin with, they're usually very experienced.
No, for sure. And too, most of the time, all they got to train with is guys. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, the girls come out and they're very good. And
if they're going to tough it out to train with the guys, that's exactly what's going to happen. And Sarah Moras is a very, very good team that she's working with out at Toshido. That's where Roy McDonald got his start. He's still there all the time. David Lee's an incredible coach. You know, we talked about it earlier. Great gyms all across Canada.
And her opponent, Christina Berry.
Here we have Christina Berry from Winnipeg, Manitoba, making her way to the AFC cage. Christina from Academy 64 in Winnipeg. We talked about it. Maybe you can fill me in. How many women do you see in the gyms around Winnipeg?
You know, there's not that many. The face jiu-jitsu. I know her grappling's strong. And I haven't seen her hands yet. We'll find out right away.
And you talked about her being a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, and you can see that brown belt around her waist, worn very proudly. No professional fight experience, but the way she's coming to the cage, she looks extremely relaxed. She looks extremely confident. You know, she's got that look in her eye, you know, a little bit of swag as she comes out. You know, that can be a great sign, but that can also be somebody trying to cover up some weakness.
Well, yeah, that's true, and I'd much rather be very relaxed coming out to fight than being amped up and jacked and jumping around. That's just me. Everybody's different, right? But I don't see anything wrong with coming very relaxed.
And there's pros and cons to fighting in front of your hometown. You know, a lot of times the week before
especially
fights,
in your debut.
Absolutely. The week before your fight, you got people looking for tickets, last minute things. They're trying to give you phone calls. They're trying to be supportive, but a lot of times what it does is affects you in a negative way.
Yeah, and even a lot of times the day of your fight, you're driving around, dropping tickets off to people. You're trying to get stuff lined up, you know.
It's one thing to do it the day of your fight, Rolly. I wouldn't want to be done when you're trying to make weight. That's probably even worse.
No, when you're trying to make weight, you're not thinking about nothing but making weight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the second bout of the evening is in the female catchweight division. The man in charge when the bell rings is your referee, Mr. Adam Cheadle. Introducing first to my left in the blue corner, This lady is a mixed martial artist. She comes in at 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing at 140 1/2 pounds, with a professional MMA record of 2 victories and 1 loss. Representing Toshido MMA from Kelowna, British Columbia, Sarah Cheesecake Moras. And introducing her opponent in the red corner. This lady is a martial artist. She comes in at 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing at 138 1/2 pounds, making her professional debut, representing Academy 64 from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Christina Berry.
In the dressing room, we're fighting 3 5-minute rounds. Obey my commands at all times, protect yourself. If you want to take your gloves, do it now. Come on, ready to fight.
Rolly, we talked a bit about the ladies' action. There's one thing I've known from the fights I've seen in the female MMA, they steal the show almost every night I've seen them in the cage.
And so far, this is stealing the show. Both girls are coming out to fight, that's for sure.
No, we talked about the ground game of Christina Berry, but those hands look very quick. And a big knee landed. And a big knee followed up by a straight left coming from Sarah Cheesecake Moras.
Cheesecake's throwing a lot of left kicks here. Christina better, watch herself when she's striking. Looks like she's trying to take it to the ground here, Christina.
Yeah, and you can hear referee.
Or just trying to clear the cobwebs out of her head after that knee kick.
Absolutely, you saw the referee warn about grabbing the cage. And now we get the takedown that we thought
reversal
that
from
Christina Berry wanted.
She's in good position here. Let's see if she can do anything from it. Well, girls go for an armbar. That looks deep.
And we talked about armbars in female MMA.
She's still in a bad spot here. She has to clear both her legs over Sarah's body to be able to get out of that, to spin out. It's hard to see from this angle how bad it is, really.
Great sound effects by our crew as I could hear a gasp come out of Christina Berry there, and we heard a tap. We talked about the ground game of Christina Berry and Sarah Moras.
Hey, man, that was
a very impressive ground game of her own.
She threw up a good armbar there. It took her a while to finish, though. Christina hung in there, that's for sure.
And I can hear Christina Berry tell the referee that she shouldn't have tapped, but from the sound effects I heard coming from her, it was probably a very good choice to tap.
It's screaming's different everywhere you go. Some people see it as a verbal tap. You gotta be careful.
Very impressive win by Sarah Cheesecake Moras. I'm not sure where that nickname Cheesecake comes. It must have something to do with, after making the weigh-ins. I'm assuming that's her snack, her let's say her reward to herself for making weight.
I always like a cheesecake after I make weight.
Holy crap! This is unbelievable.
Here we're looking at the armbar here. Just trying to look extended finish, and there you go. You can't see the tap from that angle, but she must have to get stoppage.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Adam Cheadle stops us about at 1 minute 33 seconds of the first round with armbar Sarah Cheesecake Moras.